Give me a child, and I'll give you a place to sleep, the alien warlord told the human. Captain Elias Ward stumbled through the jagged terrain of the alien planet, his boots crunching against the sharp rocks. The storm had passed hours ago, leaving a strange, eerie calm. The sky was a swirl of violet and green clouds, and the air smelled faintly metallic. His ship, the Horizon's Edge, lay in ruins behind him, a blackened skeleton on the cliffs above. Elias knew that survival depended on finding shelter, food, and, most importantly, something or someone who could help him understand the world he had landed in. He had traveled across countless star systems, seen planets with oceans of liquid methane, deserts of crystal, and forests of plants that moved as if they were alive. But this place was different. The signs of intelligent life were obvious. In the distance, he could see towering structures, tall as mountains, shimmering with strange energy. The walls glowed with a soft light, and strange silhouettes moved along the ramps and platforms. Elias had always believed that humans were fragile compared to alien species, but he also knew that humans had something special: the ability to adapt, to think, and to survive in impossible situations. He wiped the sweat from his brow and stepped forward, hoping that the beings who lived here were not immediately hostile. As he approached the city, a pair of enormous guards blocked his path. They were unlike anything he had ever seen. Their skin was a metallic bronze, glinting even under the dim light of the alien sky. Their eyes were black pools, and their armor seemed fused with their bodies. Elias stopped and raised his hands in a gesture of peace. "Human," one of them said, his voice low but resonant. "State your purpose." I'm stranded," Elias said, keeping his voice calm. "My ship was damaged. I need shelter and assistance." The guards exchanged a glance. One of them nodded and motioned for him to follow. Elias realized that being careful with his words was as important as any weapon he carried. These beings were strong, and even a small mistake could cost him his life. They led him through the city gates. The structures were astonishing, rising high and twisting in impossible shapes. The walls were inscribed with glowing symbols that shifted as if alive. Elias could hear distant sounds of machinery, the hum of energy fields, and strange calls from creatures he couldn't identify. Despite his fear, he felt a spark of curiosity. He had not seen anything like this in all his travels. Finally, they brought him before a massive door. It opened with a low rumble, revealing a hall that seemed endless. At the center, sitting on a raised platform, was the being Elias had heard about, Warlord Calthar. The alien was enormous, easily 3 meters tall, with broad shoulders and a presence that demanded attention. His skin glowed faintly with a pattern of lines that pulsed like circuits. His eyes, golden and piercing, fixed on Elias with an intensity that made the human's heart race. "Human," Calthar said, his voice deep and commanding, echoing through the hall. "You have entered my domain." Elias bowed slightly, unsure if it was the proper gesture of respect. "I mean no harm, Warlord Calthar. My ship crashed and I seek shelter. I ask only for a place to rest and recover." Calthar leaned forward, resting his massive hands on his knees. "A place to sleep comes at a price." He paused, and then his words struck Elias like a bolt of lightning. "Give me a child and I will give you a place to sleep." Elias froze. He blinked, thinking he must have misunderstood. I don't understand," he said. "A child." The warlord's gaze did not waver. "Do not take my words lightly, human. I do not mean harm as you understand it. But in my culture, the concept of a child is symbolic. You must offer something small, something precious, to gain trust and acceptance. Only then can you earn shelter." Elias' mind raced. He had heard of alien cultures testing humans with impossible choices, but nothing like this. He realized immediately that the warlord's words were not literal. They were a challenge, a test of character and intelligence. The phrase, "give me a child," was a puzzle, and the solution could determine whether he lived or perished on this planet. "I see," Elias said slowly. "You mean I must show that I can care, that I can protect?" Calther's lips curled into what might have been considered a smile. "You are perceptive, human. The child I speak of may be fragile, small, or seemingly insignificant, but your ability to nurture it, guide it, and safeguard it will prove your worth." Elias nodded, determination growing within him. He had survived countless battles, navigated deadly star storms, and faced creatures that could tear a human in half with a single strike. But this was unlike any challenge he had faced. It required not strength, but wisdom, compassion, and cleverness. "Very well, Warlord Calther," Elias said. "I will do what is necessary. Show me this child, and I will prove my worth." Calther rose to his full height, and the hall seemed to shrink under his presence. "Come, human. You will not face this alone, but you will be tested. Only those who can think beyond themselves may pass." The warlord led Elias through corridors filled with technology that defied explanation. Panels floated in midair, displaying streams of data that twisted and changed before his eyes. The walls were alive with energy, humming with power. Elias felt both awe and fear, but he kept his focus on the challenge ahead. Finally, they entered a room bathed in soft, warm light. In the center, a small creature crouched, its eyes wide and curious. It was no larger than a human child, with delicate limbs and skin that shimmered like liquid crystal. It made a soft sound, almost like a whisper, and looked at Elias with innocent wonder. "This," Calther said, "is the child. Not merely a creature, but a symbol of trust and responsibility. You will care for it, protect it, and prove that you can rise to the level of intelligence and morality my people value." Elias knelt slowly, extending a hand. The childlike creature stepped forward cautiously, sniffing the human's fingers. A surge of emotion passed through Elias. He realized that this challenge was more than a test. It was an opportunity to show what humanity could offer to a universe that often overlooked humans as weak. "I will protect you," Elias said softly. "I will not let harm come to you." Calther watched closely. "Observe, human. You will not be tested only by care but by choice. You will face decisions where morality, intelligence, and courage must guide your actions. Fail, and your place here will be lost." The human nodded, understanding the gravity of the task. He had survived because he adapted, because he used his mind to solve problems, and because he understood that brute force alone was rarely enough. On this alien world, he would need all those skills and more. As night fell over the fortress city, Elias stayed with the creature, learning its habits and communication. It was more intelligent than he first imagined, responding to gestures, sounds, and subtle signals. In that quiet moment, he realized that the first step of survival was understanding, and that empathy could be just as powerful as any weapon. Outside, the alien city glowed under the strange sky, and distant stars sparkled with possibilities. For the first time since the crash, Elias felt hope. He had a challenge, a purpose, and a chance to prove that humans could not only survive in this hostile universe, but thrive. The warlord Calther had given him a test unlike any other. Elias knew that the coming days would demand intelligence, compassion, and bravery. But he also knew that humanity's greatest strength was rising to challenges no one else could face. And so, under the alien sky, Captain Elias Ward prepared for the first true test of human resilience. He would learn the meaning behind Calther's words, protect the child, and show that even on a distant world, humanity had a place among the stars. The sun, or what passed for a sun on this distant world, was low on the horizon, casting long shadows across the glowing city. Captain Elias Ward moved cautiously through the fortress corridors, the small alien creature following his steps with curious eyes. Though it seemed fragile, Elias had learned not to underestimate it. Every gesture, every blink carried meaning. This was not just a challenge of strength. It was a test of understanding, patience, and intelligence. Calther had left them alone for now, but the weight of the warlord's gaze seemed to linger in the room, invisible yet undeniable. Elias guided the creature to a corner where a soft light shimmered, creating a small safe space. He knelt and extended his hands. "We need to communicate," he said gently. The creature tilted its head, its crystalline skin catching the light. Hours passed as Elias observed and learned. The childlike alien responded to simple hand signals, mimicking gestures with astonishing precision. It had a quiet curiosity, poking at small objects and watching Elias intently. In the process, Elias realized something critical. This was a mirror, a reflection of the human spirit, demanding care, creativity, and moral choice. As he sat, Calther's voice suddenly echoed through the chamber. "Human, the first trial begins." Elias looked up to see a panel slide open along the wall, revealing a complex puzzle. Strange symbols floated in midair, shifting constantly, almost alive. Beside it was a small, intricate device that looked like a cage with no visible doors. The child alien approached the device, making soft sounds. "This puzzle represents responsibility," Calther's voice continued. "The cage holds a key to safety, but also a test. Only a mind that thinks beyond self-interest may succeed. Protect the child, solve the puzzle, and earn trust. Fail, and you shall learn the consequences of short-sightedness." Elias studied the puzzle. It was unlike anything he had encountered before. The symbols were not random, they seemed to respond to thought and intention. He realized quickly that brute force would not work. Patience and observation were essential. He gestured to the child to stay back, careful not to alarm it. Then he began manipulating the floating symbols, watching how they moved, trying to understand the logic. Hours turned into an almost silent rhythm of thought and trial. Elias noted patterns. Symbols of balance moved in certain sequences. Colors represented options, and each wrong step caused the device to hum ominously. But he did not panic. Human intelligence thrived on challenges like this, especially when they required adaptation and critical thinking. The child observed every move, occasionally touching a symbol as if offering a suggestion. Elias smiled, realizing that this creature was not merely a test object, but a participant. He began to incorporate its behavior into his strategy, noticing that it reacted to sequences he might not have predicted. Slowly, carefully, he aligned the symbols, forming a pattern that resonated with the device. A soft click echoed and the cage opened, revealing a small crystal sphere. Elias picked it up carefully. The child stepped forward, nudging his hand with a gentle touch. "We did it," he whispered, though there was no need. Calther's booming voice soon filled the room. "Impressive," the warlord said. "You see beyond your own needs. You observe, you learn, and you adapt. But this was only the first trial. The next will challenge not only your mind but your heart." Before Elias could respond, a secondary panel slid open, revealing another scenario. This one was more direct, more dangerous. The room transformed, showing a holographic projection of the city in chaos. Fires burned across sections, and tiny holographic humans and aliens struggled against simulated hazards. In the center, the child alien's likeness appeared, trapped on a crumbling platform. "You must choose quickly," Calther instructed. "Decisions now affect the outcome. Act selfishly and failure is certain. Act wisely and trust will be earned." Elias took a deep breath. He analyzed the situation. The projection was a simulation, but the logic behind it was clear. He had limited time, and the choices he made would test moral judgment, courage, and foresight. He realized that rushing blindly would destroy the balance. He needed strategy. He first directed the projection to secure civilians, ensuring that innocent lives were protected. Then he guided the virtual child to safety using careful maneuvers. At every step, he noticed the holographic symbols responding to his decisions, glowing brighter when he acted with consideration and dimming when he hesitated. The simulation shifted as though alive, testing and responding to human choice. By the time the projection ended, Elias was exhausted, but he understood a crucial truth. The human mind could navigate complexity, anticipate consequences, and value life beyond immediate survival. The child alien approached, nuzzling him gently. Its trust was earned not through force but through thoughtful action. Calther's voice filled the chamber again. You begin to understand. The child, the symbols, the simulations, they are mirrors. They reveal not only skill but character. Humans are often underestimated, yet your species excels where brute strength cannot prevail. Observation, intellect, and empathy are your greatest weapons. Elias felt a surge of pride, tempered by caution. Calther's praise was not given lightly. Each test had a hidden layer, and the warlord's mind was as sharp as it was imposing. I will continue, Elias said firmly. I will prove that humanity has value beyond survival. Good, Calther replied. Now comes the most important trial. It is not of symbols nor of simulations, but of choice. You will face other humans in this city. Some have been here longer, yet they fail repeatedly. They attempt shortcuts, greed, or cunning without compassion. Observe them, decide your path, show what sets your kind apart. Elias moved through the city, guided by Calther's words. Other humans were indeed present, struggling under strange alien tasks. Some attempted to manipulate the holographic systems. Others tried to use force to gain advantage. Every failure was noted, the consequences immediate and often severe. One human was trapped in a holographic collapse, and Elias realized quickly that recklessness had tangible results. When he finally returned to the child alien, he understood the depth of the warlord's challenge. This was not merely about intelligence or survival. It was about moral clarity in a world that offered temptation and shortcuts at every turn. Elias began to create routines, teaching the creature basic signals, observing the humans around him and thinking 2 steps ahead. The warlord observed silently, a presence felt more than seen. His eyes followed every gesture, every decision. Elias felt the pressure, yet he thrived under it. Humans had a way of turning stress into strategy, fear into planning, and compassion into action. These were traits that no brute strength could replace. By the time the alien sun dipped completely below the horizon, Elias had completed several tasks, all while nurturing the child alien. He had demonstrated patience, ingenuity, and a moral compass that guided every action. The small creature had begun to respond to him with subtle gestures of understanding, forming a silent bond. Finally, Calther spoke again. Human, you have shown promise. Your mind is sharp, your heart clear, but promise alone is not enough. You must continue to prove that humanity can thrive not by taking what is given, but by earning trust and responsibility. Elias nodded. I understand, Warlord. I will not fail. See well, human, Calther said, his voice softening slightly. The child is not yours to control, but to protect. Your success depends on your ability to nurture, to think, and to act with honor. Fail, and the consequences extend beyond yourself. Succeed, and you will show that humans are more than survivors. They are partners in shaping worlds. Elias looked down at the small alien, its crystalline skin glowing faintly in the dim light. He smiled. We'll do this together, he whispered. He felt a deep sense of responsibility, not only for the creature but for what it represented, humanity's potential to rise, to adapt, and to make a difference in worlds far from Earth. Outside the fortress, the city shimmered under the alien sky. Lights danced along towers, reflecting Elias' growing determination. He had survived storms, shipwrecks, and countless dangers, but this test of mind, heart, and spirit was unlike anything he had faced before. And yet he felt hope. The warlord's words echoed in his mind. Humans excel where brute strength cannot prevail. Elias understood now that his species had something unique. the ability to rise to challenges that others might fail to comprehend, to act with moral clarity, and to forge trust where none existed. As the night deepened, Elias settled beside the child, planning for the next trial. He knew it would be harder, demanding even more of his intelligence and compassion. But he was ready. Humanity had survived against impossible odds before, and it would do so again, even on this distant, alien world. In the quiet glow of the fortress, Captain Elias Ward began to feel not like a stranded human, but like a representative of his species. The real test was only beginning, and he was determined to prove that humans were capable of greatness, even among the stars. The first light of the alien sun shimmered across the fortress city, casting a soft golden glow on towers that seemed to pierce the sky. Captain Elias Ward stood on a high platform overlooking the city, the child alien by his side. For days, he had learned the rhythms of Calther's domain, understanding the alien technology, the strange rituals, and the subtle cues of the Xyrath themselves. But as calm settled, a new danger began to stir, a threat that neither human nor Xyrath had anticipated. From the distant horizon, a dark fleet of ships emerged, sleek and menacing. They were not Xyrath nor human, they were the Ravok, a rogue alien faction infamous for their destruction. Their mission was simple: conquer, destroy, and enslave. As the fleet approached, alarms echoed through the fortress, and Calther's guards surged to positions of defense. Elias felt a familiar rush of adrenaline. He had faced danger before, but this was different. It was not a simulation, not a test. This was real, and lives hung in the balance. He turned to the child alien, who blinked at him with intelligence and curiosity. "Stay close," he whispered. "We're about to see what humans can do." Calther appeared beside him, towering and imposing. "Human," he said, "this is your opportunity to prove what I have begun to suspect, that your species is more than survivalists. Show me strategy, ingenuity, and courage." Elias nodded. "I understand, Warlord. Let's protect the city." The battle began before words could continue. Ravok's ships fired energy beams that struck the city's outer walls, shaking towers and igniting sections of alien architecture. The Xyrath guards responded with precision, their advanced weapons creating force fields and energy shields, but the attackers were relentless. Elias quickly assessed the situation. The humans in the city were inexperienced with alien warfare, but their minds were sharp. He moved among them, giving clear instructions. "Use the energy nodes to redirect their beams," he said. "Block the lower gates and set traps along the approach paths. Focus on intelligence, not just strength." The humans hesitated at first, unsure of alien technology, but Elias guided them patiently. He showed them how to manipulate the energy nodes, creating barriers that redirected attacks and protected civilians. The child alien followed him, its small glowing body weaving through the chaos, signaling safe paths and alerting him to weak points. Calther watched silently as Elias coordinated humans and aliens alike. He was impressed. Here was a human, stranded in a foreign world, taking command not through fear but through intelligence, courage, and foresight. The Xyrath were powerful, but without strategy, even their strength could fail. Hours passed in a blur of motion and sound. Energy beams clashed, shields shimmered, and the city shook. Elias moved quickly, analyzing the enemy patterns, anticipating attacks, and guiding both humans and aliens to act in concert. He devised traps using alien technology, funneling Ravok units into narrow corridors where their size and numbers worked against them. The humans learned quickly under his guidance, demonstrating the adaptability that had always been humanity's greatest strength. Where others might have panicked or relied on brute force, they thought creatively, using available resources in unexpected ways. Elias felt a surge of pride. Even in an alien city with alien allies, humans were capable of brilliance, but the Ravok were cunning. A group of their ships bypassed the defenses and began to target civilians, including vulnerable humans and smaller aliens. Elias reacted instantly. He led a small team to intercept, using quick thinking and makeshift barriers. They managed to save the civilians, including a few alien workers who had been trapped by falling debris. The child alien followed closely, guiding him through dangerous sections with subtle gestures. Its intelligence and awareness were remarkable, and Elias realized that their bond was now crucial to survival. Together, they moved with precision, avoiding danger and protecting the weak. Calther observed from above, his golden eyes narrowing in appreciation. You understand coordination, human. You see value in every life, in every action, and you adapt to changing circumstances. This is the essence of strength, not power alone, but intellect and morality. The battle raged on for hours, but slowly the Ravok began to falter. Elias had anticipated their tactics, used the city's structure to his advantage, and coordinated humans and Xyrath in ways neither faction could have done alone. One by one, enemy ships were disabled or forced to retreat. The city was battered but intact. Civilians and soldiers alike cheered as the last Ravok ship fled into the sky. Elias breathed deeply, exhausted but exhilarated. The humans around him smiled, relieved and proud. The child alien nuzzled his side, a small gesture of trust and companionship. For Elias, the moment was more than a victory. It was proof that humans could not only survive but lead and protect, even in the most alien circumstances. Calther descended from the platform, his presence commanding attention. "Human," he said, "you have done more than survive. You have protected, guided, and inspired. You have shown that humans possess qualities that even the Xyrath value: intelligence, foresight, and courage tempered by compassion. You have earned trust, not by strength alone, but by proving your species' worth." Elias bowed slightly, acknowledging the warlord's words. "I only did what I thought necessary to protect everyone. Humans have always survived through adaptation, cooperation, and thinking beyond ourselves. I am honored that you see that value." Calther nodded, a rare moment of approval visible in his expression. "It is not enough to survive. You must lead. You must show that humans are capable of forging alliances, guiding civilizations, and shaping the future. This is your path. You will remain here, not as a stranger or guest, but as a partner." The city's inhabitants, both human and Xyrath, gathered around. They had witnessed Elias' actions, and respect rippled through the crowd. Humans who had arrived timid and unsure now stood tall, inspired by his example. Aliens who had once seen humans as weak now recognized the unique strength of their species. As night fell, Elias walked through the city, the child alien close at his side. They passed buildings that had been damaged in the attack, yet the residents were already repairing, rebuilding, and improving. He realized that this was more than survival, it was progress. Humans and aliens working together, learning from each other, and forging something greater than either could achieve alone. In a quiet courtyard, Elias stopped and looked at the stars above the alien sky. The battle had been won, but the challenges were far from over. There were still tests to face, mysteries to solve, and dangers to overcome. Yet he felt a deep sense of hope. Humanity had proven itself capable of not just surviving, but thriving, even in a world that was not their own. The child alien chirped softly, nuzzling Elias' hand. He smiled. "We did well today," he said, "and tomorrow we will do even better." From above, Calther watched silently. The warlord had seen many species, many civilizations, and many warriors. Yet Elias had done something remarkable. He had united humans and Xyrath through intellect, morality, and courage. He had proven that humanity's greatest strength lay not in physical power, but in adaptability, creativity, and compassion. As the fortress city settled into a calm night, Elias reflected on the lessons of the day. He had faced impossible odds, guided diverse beings, and protected the vulnerable. And through it all, he had shown what humans could achieve when they acted with clarity, purpose, and heart. Calther's voice echoed once more, soft but commanding. Tomorrow, the trials will continue. You will face more challenges and the stakes will rise. But today, human, you have begun to prove that your species deserves a place among the stars. Elias nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility but also the thrill of potential. We are ready, he said, glancing at the child alien. We will face whatever comes next together. And so, under the twin moons of the alien world, a fragile yet growing alliance had formed. Humans and Xyrath, bound by respect and shared purpose, had survived an attack that could have destroyed them. And for the first time, Elias truly understood the power of humanity, not just to endure but to lead, inspire, and shape the future of worlds far beyond Earth. The city was safe for now, but the universe was vast, unpredictable, and full of challenges. And Captain Elias Ward, with the child alien by his side, was ready to face them all, proving that humans could not only survive, but thrive, wherever fate and courage led them. The alien sky glowed softly as the first light of dawn touched the fortress city. Captain Elias Ward stood atop one of the high towers, looking down at the streets below. The city had survived the Ravok attack, but the battle had left its mark. Buildings were damaged, energy conduits flickered, and parts of the outer walls needed repair. Yet, despite the destruction, a sense of purpose and unity filled the air. Humans and Xyrath alike were working side by side, rebuilding what had been broken and making improvements where possible. The child alien scurried to Elias' side, its crystalline body sparkling in the morning light. Elias smiled as he knelt beside it. "Ready for another day?" he asked. The creature chirped softly, its voice almost musical, as if acknowledging the question. It had grown more confident in the past days, and its trust in Elias was evident in every gesture. Calther appeared behind them, his massive form casting a shadow across the platform. "Human," the warlord said, "you have proven much. You have shown intellect, compassion, and courage, yet your true test begins now. It is one thing to survive attacks. It is another to build a future where humans and Xyrath can coexist as equals." Elias straightened, determination clear in his eyes. "I understand, Warlord. I want to help not just survive but create something better." Calther nodded. "Then begin. You will lead a human team to organize the reconstruction efforts. You will demonstrate leadership, foresight, and the ability to inspire others. Your actions will show your species' true value." Elias gathered the humans, many of whom had grown confident under his guidance. Together, they surveyed the city, noting the areas most in need of repair and the points where defensive improvements could be made. The humans brought their own ideas, innovations drawn from Earth, combined with knowledge gleaned from observing the Xyrath. One group focused on structural repairs, using alien technology adapted for human use. Another developed communication networks, linking the city's towers and allowing instant coordination during emergencies. Elias moved among them, encouraging collaboration, offering guidance, and teaching problem-solving skills that blended human creativity with alien precision. The child alien followed closely, signaling areas of concern and offering subtle guidance. Its instincts, combined with Elias' intelligence, allowed the team to anticipate problems before they became critical. Every success strengthened the bond between species and highlighted humanity's adaptability. Calther watched silently from his platform, observing how humans integrated into the city. "See this, human," he said. "This is what I spoke of. Humans can survive, yes, but more importantly, they can lead, inspire, and create. You do not conquer through force but through understanding and ingenuity." As the day progressed, news arrived that a smaller Ravok scouting party had approached the city outskirts, likely intending to test defenses. Elias saw this not as a threat, but as an opportunity to demonstrate the value of preparation and strategy. He organized a human Xyrath response team, combining both species' strengths. Using clever traps, decoy signals, and coordinated maneuvers, Elias led the team to intercept the Ravok scouts. Humans acted as forward planners, improvising solutions and adapting to unexpected changes in the enemy's tactics. Xyrath soldiers brought strength and speed, while the child alien helped signal danger and safe paths through the complex terrain. By the time the scouts were neutralized and sent retreating, the city had not only defended itself but had done so efficiently and with minimal loss. The humans had proved they were capable of thinking ahead, anticipating threats, and coordinating effectively with a species far larger and stronger than themselves. Calthor approached Elias once more, his expression unreadable at first. Then slowly he spoke, his tone almost approving. "You have done more than I imagined, human. Not only have you survived, but you have shown initiative, leadership, and an understanding of responsibility. Humans are capable of more than I had ever assumed. You may rest here safely, and your people may do the same. You have earned your place." Elias exhaled, relief flooding through him. It had been a long journey, from surviving a crash to proving himself under impossible challenges, to defending a city against alien attackers. And yet the sense of accomplishment was more than personal. It was a triumph of humanity itself. Humans could think, plan, adapt, and inspire, even on an alien world far from home. The city's citizens began to celebrate the successful defense and reconstruction. Humans and Xyrath mingled, sharing stories, ideas, and laughter. Humans taught simple Earth games to young Xyrath, while learning alien strategies that had kept the city safe for generations. The child alien darted among them, playful and curious, a symbol of the trust and bond formed between species. Elias walked through the streets, observing the interactions. He noticed humans offering solutions to logistical problems, teaching new techniques, and earning respect from the Xyrath. They were no longer seen as strangers or pests, they were partners. Their creativity and empathy had bridged a gap that once seemed insurmountable. As evening fell, Elias returned to the tower where Calthor awaited. "You have done well, human," the warlord said. "Your species has proven its worth. You have shown that humans are capable not only of survival, but of shaping the future of worlds. The child you have protected is a testament to your moral strength, and the city itself is a testament to your intelligence and leadership." Elias bowed slightly. "Thank you, Warlord. Humanity has always faced challenges, and we have always found a way to adapt and grow. Here we have done the same, but I know there is still much to learn and accomplish." Calthor's eyes glowed faintly, a gesture that in his culture signified acknowledgement and respect. "Indeed, human, this is only the beginning. The universe is vast and challenges are endless. But you have proven that humans have a place, not merely as survivors but as partners and innovators. Your species' greatest strength is your ability to rise above the immediate, to think, to plan, and to act with wisdom. Never forget that." Elias looked at the horizon, where twin moons reflected on the city's towers. "I will remember, Warlord, and I will do my best to help humanity thrive here, alongside your people." Over the next weeks, humans and Xyrath worked together to rebuild and enhance the city. They created new energy systems, improved defense mechanisms, and shared knowledge freely. The child alien grew more confident, learning quickly from both species. It became a symbol of hope, intelligence, and cooperation. Elias often walked through the city, observing humans teaching Xyrath techniques from Earth, while learning alien ways of survival and combat. He realized that this collaboration was not just about survival, it was about progress, innovation, and mutual respect. Humanity's reputation was no longer defined by weakness but by creativity, adaptability, and moral strength. One evening, as the city glowed under the alien night sky, Elias and the child alien sat together on the tower platform. "We've come far," he said softly. "But our journey is only beginning. There are other worlds, other challenges, and other lives that might need what humans can offer." The creature chirped in agreement, nuzzling his hand. Elias smiled. He felt a sense of connection not just to this alien being, but to the larger purpose of humanity. Humans could survive storms, alien worlds, and threats beyond imagination. But more than that, they could lead, inspire, and make a difference wherever they went. Calther appeared beside them silently. "You understand now, human. You have earned a place here, a home and respect. But the future is open. Continue to learn, to teach, and to grow. Humans and Xyrath together can achieve much, for strength without wisdom is nothing, and compassion without action is wasted. You have both in balance." Elias nodded. "We will continue, Warlord. Humanity will continue, and we will not waste this opportunity." As dawn broke again over the alien horizon, the city thrummed with life and hope. Humans had earned their place, not through force, but through courage, intelligence, and moral clarity. Elias knew that challenges would continue, but for the first time he felt the true power of humanity shining across the stars. The child alien chirped again, playful and bright, and Elias laughed. Together, they looked out over the city, a symbol of what humans could achieve when they rose to meet impossible challenges with ingenuity, courage, and heart. In that moment, Captain Elias Ward understood a profound truth. Humans were not just survivors of the universe, they were shapers of its future. And on this alien world far from Earth, humanity's light shone brightly, promising new beginnings, new adventures, and a place among the stars. And so, under the twin moons and alien skies, a new dawn rose, not just for the fortress city, but for humanity itself. The story of Captain Elias Ward, the child alien, and the alliance between species was only the first chapter of a legacy that would grow across worlds, proving that humans could thrive anywhere, and that their greatest strength lay not in their bodies, but in their minds. Hearts and spirit,